But could it be followed by the departure of Jake Westbrook? Trade rumors abound, but Jake gets the ball in Game 1 of this 4-game series next on Sports Time, Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, it's Cleveland Indians baseball. Tonight, the Tribe takes on the Detroit Tigers in a 4-game, 3-day weekend series. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning, fresh off a 4-day All-Star break, fresh and rested.
Yes, indeed.
Ready to go. Jake Westbrook, I'm sure, is ready to go as well. He's on the hill for the Tribe tonight, Rick. And I don't know how difficult it is for a player. I've never been in that situation to go out, try and take care of your business, knowing that your name is out there in all of these trade rumors.
Well, knowing Jake Westbrook, he's not going to worry about it. He's going to go about his business and do just what he can. I think what he's going to look for is a little more consistency in the second half of this season where he can go out there, and if he should happen to be traded, fine. He's not going to worry about it. He's matched up against Max Scherzer tonight, and Max Scherzer's been pitching very, very well in the month of July.
Yeah, so has Jake Westbrook, so a pretty good matchup here this evening. Meanwhile, speaking of having a good July, how about Miguel Cabrera? He's having a pretty good season. In fact, perhaps a historic season we are witnessing for the Tiger slugger.
Well, this guy was born to hit. He's been a hitter ever since he was a 20-year-old kid coming up with the Florida Marlins, and he is having a great year. Remember, he had some problems last year, the last week of the season. 12 of his 22 home runs have come on the road, 42 of his RBIs. That's the most of anybody in baseball on the road. And, you know, Detroit is not a road team, but this guy is one. You want to face him with nobody on base, and if you have the chance to pitch around him, you certainly want to do that.
Yeah, you're right, though. The Tigers have really struggled on the road this year. We'll see if that holds true in this series against the Tribe. We're back with play-by-play action coming up next. As the Indians open up post-All-Star break action against the Detroit Tigers. This is a Tigers ball club that comes in here having won 7 of their last 10, a game off the pace in the AL Central, 10 games above the 500 mark. Indians 20 games below the break-even mark, and they've lost 7 of their last 10 coming in. Let's get a look at the Mercedes-Benz visitors lineup. Experience truly great engineering today at your authorized dealer. For Jim Leland's ball club, it'll be Austin Jackson. What a year he's had. Johnny Damon in the 2-hole, then Maglio Ordonez. Miguel Cabrera, Triple Crown threat, batting cleanup. Then Brennan Bosch, Carlos Guillen, Brandon Inge, Alex Avila will catch. Ramon Santiago is batting ninth.
Tonight's starting pitcher brought to you by the Strip Indians Team Shop in North Canton. It's Jake Westbrook making his 19th start of the season. Jake is 5-5, a .475 ERA. This year at home, he is 2-2 and a .441. He'll be making his third start against the Tigers this year. He's 1-0. He beat them in his last start coming June 1st, where he went 7 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits and 1 run. That was his third win of the year. He had a no decision back on April 11th. Let's take a look at the Taco Bell Indians defensive lineup. In the outfield from left to right, it's going to be Crow, Brantley, and Kearns. On the infield from third to first, it's going to be Marte, Donald, Nix, and Laporta. Carlos Santana behind the plate. They are rated tied for last with 981 fielding percentage, 65 errors. When you're making a choice for late night, Taco Bell is the late night place to be.
All right, we're ready to go here at Progressive Field. Jake Westbrook into the lineup, and his first pitch is over the outside corner. No, just a bit outside, 1-0. 80 degrees our game time temperature here in downtown Cleveland on just a beautiful evening. It has been warm the last several days here in northeastern Ohio. Check swing, bouncer, grabbed and fouled ground by Carlos Santana. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Folks filing in on a beautiful Friday evening. Indians and Tigers, 1 game tonight. Day-night doubleheader action tomorrow. 1 o'clock game that will not be televised. Rick and I will have tomorrow night's game at 7 p.m. And then the series wraps up with a Sunday 1 o'clock game that will be seen on Channel 3. Here's the line on the 1-2. A little bit too low.
That makeup game tomorrow is the only rainout that the Indians have had this year.
That was back in May, right?
Yeah, the 7th.
Chopped foul by Austin Jackson, who's done a terrific job for the Yankees at the top of the order, batting .300 on the year.
Yeah, he's had a fine rookie year. He and his partner, Miggy Cabrera, they hit very well against right-handed pitching.
You know, I hate to say, because he was such a good player, that the Tigers have not missed Curtis Granderson. But certainly, in their wildest dreams, they couldn't have imagined that Jackson would step in and play this well once they traded Granderson
Well,
away.
he moves into the leadoff spot, and he also is a very good defender. We saw him make a play in that Galarraga game, leading off the 9th inning. Remember, off the bat of Mark Grudzielanek?
That was an unbelievable catch.
And you have to be able to run to play that center field in Comerica Park, and he can.
3-2 pitch. And you have seen him, you've commented on it a number of times, shoot the ball to the opposite field. If that's the way they're going to pitch him, he'll certainly just punch it to right field. He tried to go the other way on that pitch right there.
Well, he waits very well. That's why he hits so well against right-handed pitchers. He doesn't try to pull the ball, and he'll take the base hits the other way.
Meanwhile, it's been an 8-pitch at bat to start the game.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, this guy, I think, had a 12-pitch at bat against Westbrook back when we were in Detroit. Westbrook finally got him, but it was like a 12-pitch at bat, and then Jake settled in and pitched really well.
What are you, an elephant?
Yeah.
How do you remember that?
Because he had a 12-pitch at bat. I just remember it leading off the game, and I think it was Westbrook.
One-hop smash knocked down by Nix, but by the time he picks it up, Jackson is safe at first. So Jackson with a terrific battle. And after 10 pitches, he winds up safe at first to start the game. We'll see how they rule it.
Oh, that's got to be a base hit. Hit right on the nose. That's a tough backhanded play.
And it is.
Yeah, that ball was hit right on the nose, and it was a great at bat for Austin Jackson.
So after 10 pitches, Jackson aboard to start the game. He does lead the Tigers with 14 stolen bases. Twice as many as his closest pursuer on the club, and that belongs to Johnny Damon. The batter who steps in now, he has 7 steals. Damon slicing it foul, out of play.
You know, when you get the production of some of the rookies that the Tigers have had this year, Brennan Bosch is another guy that's really stepped in and has had a tremendous year. Your veterans, you know, they're going to be the guys carrying the load down the stretch. And if the rookies can pitch in and continue to do it all year, it could be a fun summer for the Tigers. My thing is, though, they're going to have to. Their starting pitching is going to have to get better. They're 12th in the league as far as their starters go. They're going to have to play better on the road than what they're playing right now.
Yeah, they're just 16-25 on the road.
You know, in the Central Division, they have a losing record, and they're going to have to play better in the Central. They're just 16-17.
Westbrook delivers, and Damon chops it foul. Another foul ball.
Out of the 76 games that Detroit has left, 39 come against the Central Division. 20 of them are at home, where they play very well, and 19 will be on the road.
Tigers have already fouled 8 pitches against Jake Westbrook here tonight. The thing that doesn't make a whole lot of sense about the Tigers' road record is you expect that with young teams. And while the Tigers definitely got a little bit younger in the offseason, this is a veteran club under Jim Leyland, who's been around the game a long time. You would expect them to be at least closer to the break-even mark.
Yes, you would like to see them that way, and I think it all revolves around their pitching because their ERA on the road is 5.19.
So you're saying in the big, spacious Comerica Park, they pitch pretty well.
Yeah,
keep the ball in the middle of the yard.
Absolutely. You keep it in the center of the diamond. They hit better at home, and they pitch better at home. But that over 5 ERA really hurts them.
Broke the bat of Johnny Damon. And on the infield, Marte almost let it drop, and he makes the catch. He looked at Jason Donald and realized Donald was simply staring at Marte. And then Andy, Johnny on the spot, made the catch.
Take charge. I mean, if you're going to go after it until you hear somebody calling. I guarantee you Donald didn't call for it because he thought it was right in Marte's space. He's going to let him take it.
Do you think maybe he thought he heard him?
No.
Because he looked over to him as though, oh, you're going to catch it?
Take it. Just go up there and catch the ball.
Well,
until he calls you off. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, he did ultimately catch the ball. And now Maglio Ordonez with Jackson running. Santana gets off a good throw, but it's not in time to get Jackson, who has his 15th stolen base of the year.
You know, and Detroit is not a team that, you know, blinding speed. They steal occasionally. That's their 39th steal as a team. But you pick and you choose, and there goes Jackson getting it in. He had a very good jump off Westbrook. Runners are now 10 for 14 off Jake, stealing bases.
One ball, one strike with 1 on, 1 out here in the first inning. Maglio Ordonez. You know, Ordonez is one of those guys that I'm sure people around baseball looked at him coming into this season, looked at his age, looked at his long career and thought, wow, this is probably the year he starts to really tail off, and yet still waiting for that because he's hitting over 300 coming in tonight.
I think last year was a gut check for him because they had to pick up his contract, remember?
Yeah.
That $18 million that they had to pick up, and he wasn't playing really well, and he was hurt a little bit, but they were winning. So they had to keep him in the lineup. When he picked it up, I think he really worked hard in the offseason and said, hey, I want to prove to you guys that I am worth it, and you did the right thing by picking it up.
He's been a clutch hitter throughout his career, and a lot of that is attributed to the fact that he will not necessarily give in, but he'll take the ball to the opposite field instead of just trying to yank it and pull the ball for power.
He's a good RBI man. He knows what it takes. And you know what? He's losing his defensive skills. He's not the right fielder he once was because of his legs, but he's better than what he was last year, and I think it's because he's in better shape.
Been a 21-pitch first inning already for Jake Westbrook. Of course, Jackson made him throw 10 pitches to start. And then Damon put up a pretty good battle before he finally popped up. And now Ordonez with a 3-2 count. Swung on and missed. Oh, a big strikeout for Jake Westbrook. And I'm not sure that he didn't really fool Ordonez, because if I'm Maglio, I'm expecting a fastball right there with Miguel Cabrera on deck, and he crossed him up with a good changeup.
Well, look at the breaking ball. Right down and away. It was an excellent pitch. I mean, if he takes it, it's probably a ball, but it's too close to take, and, you know, he did.
Is that a breaking ball?
Yeah, it was a slider that went straight down.
Almost looked like a changeup the way it died. Really choked it off. 2 down. Now Miguel Cabrera with 22 home runs on the year. 0-1 the count.
You see, this is the guy now you beware of. A 19-game hitting streak. He does a lot of damage on the road. I said 12 of his homers, 42 ribbies on the road. And this is the one guy you don't want to throw a whole lot of strikes to if you don't have to.
The 0-1.
And I'm going to tell you something. If you watch batting practice, you know, a lot of guys put on displays. Nobody puts on a display better than this guy. I mean, and it doesn't matter what part of the ballpark. He goes up there, and it can be right field. I saw him hit one in center field today up over the second row of trees. I think it landed in somebody's sandwich up there.
The 1-1 pitch. Cabrera hits it hard, deep left field, over the head of Crow, off the fence, and scoring is Austin Jackson. It's a 2-out RBI single, and the Tigers jump on top 1-0. And of course, the question going through everybody's mind right now is, why pitch to him at all? And the way it started out, it looked like he was going to say, all right, if you want to chase something, I'll let you chase it.
Give him a 20-game hitting streak, and you know what? There's a hanging breaking ball. You don't throw this guy good pitches. You better get him off the plate. If he wants to chase it, fine. That is why he's proven it to you guys. 78 RBIs now. If you have an open base, I wouldn't want to throw him a strike. So that's going to set the tempo, I would hope, for this 4-game series. It's just starting.
78
pitchers
runs
take notes.
In.
That's caliente right there.
Muy caliente.
Muy caliente. He was the player of the week, you know, going into the All-Star break. You know, this is a rookie, and I know the rookie's having a good year. Brennan Bosch, he's got 12 homers, 49. He's really having a terrific year, and he just broke into the top 10 because he had enough at-bats. Make this guy come out and beat you before you let a guy like Cabrera do it. Doesn't matter right-handed, left-handed. That, to me, it doesn't bother me.
Popped in the air. Foul ground. Long run for Crow. Can't get to it. So 2 down, a runner at first. Tigers on top 1-0 here in the first inning. Runner retreats back to first base. The umpires tonight, Jerry Lane calling the balls and strikes. Brian Runge at first. Todd Titchener at second. And Mike McClinsky is at third. 1-2 delivery. Bosch able to hold up to even the count. Pop back out of play. It remains 2-2. A 30-pitch first inning for Jake Westbrook. Brennan Bosch with a runner at first and 2 down. And the 2-2 from Jake is well outside, full count.
And this has been a struggle, this inning has for Jake. A couple of full counts. He's had 3 full counts. Detroit has hit 12 foul balls on the sinkers or the changeups or the sliders.
Cabrera not exactly fleet of foot, but he will get a head start on this 3-2 pitch. And Bosch reached out for it, rolls over to second, and the inning is over. But the 2-out RBI single by Miguel Cabrera has the Tigers in front 1-0 as the Indians come to bat. Tigers with a 1-0 lead as the Indians come to bat here. Bottom of the first. Drive starting lineup presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Michael Brantley, Jason Nix, and Carlos Santana at the top. Travis Hafner, Austin Kearns, Matt Laporta in the middle. Then it's Trevor Crowe, Andy Marte, and Jason Donald. Max Scherzer. And a fastball misses down low for ball one. Brantley trying to get it rolling here after the All-Star break. Big thing with Brantley is that, he didn't get a lot of playing time in his first stint. And since the call-up, he's gone just 3 for 36.
Well, yeah, he had a rough road trip. He's 0 for his last 19, 18, something like that. But, he to get on base, man, in that leadoff spot. That's what you have to try and do, one way, shape, or form.
Rolls out to first as Cabrera took it himself to the bag, one away.
Let's check out Max Scherzer, his numbers. He's making his 17th start, and he has been very, very good in his last 5 starts. He's 4-0 and a 160. On the year, he's 6-6. But you can see in 93 2/3 innings, he has 88 punchouts. And they sent him down to the minor leagues and was recalled on May 30th. And his first start after getting called back up was against Oakland, where he ended up having 14 punchouts. So he was working on keeping that fastball down. Maybe think he was trying a little bit too hard his first go-round, but he has really settled in and pitched very well for him since the recall.
Swung out and missed.
Tight little slider. I mean, when you can ride that fastball up and you can keep it down, you have a little slider and you can change speeds. He's got enough where you don't have to be perfect.
Two-strike pitch, swung on and missed. 2 quick outs for Max Scherzer here in the first. Tonight's achievement of the game is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in us all. Eventually we'll get that to you. In any event, here's Carlos Santana with a .284 average, 5 homers, 16 runs batted in. missed in off the plate. There's that achievement of the game for Santana since June 11th. Right there at the top in every category among catchers. No question he's going to be a special player offensively. And I think defensively, he's shown signs that he can be very dominant from behind the plate. You know, once he continues to grow and get better.
It's just a matter of getting games played back there and settling in. Get to know his pitchers.
I made the point earlier to somebody I was talking to. He hasn't even learned the pitchers in the American League yet as a hitter.
No.
Imagine how good he's going to be once he has a better understanding of what they're trying to do against him.
He's only been up here a month.
Yeah.
For goodness sake, he hasn't faced half the teams.
The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. He took a healthy rip. And it's a full count. Max Scherzer, meanwhile, is just 9 days shy of his 26th birthday. Former #1 pick of the D-backs just 4 years ago out of the University of Missouri. He walks Santana with 2 down.
Let's check out the Tigers' defensive lineup, brought to you by Huntington Bank. It's Bosch, Jackson, Ordonez in the outfield. On the infield, it's Inge, Santiago, Guillen, and Cabrera. Behind the plate, Avila. The Tigers are tied with the Indians for last in fielding percentage. They have made 62 errors. They have turned 97 double plays.
Up high, ball 1 to Travis Hafner. Pronk was 4 for 16 on the Indians' last road trip before the break. Scherzer's fastball nails the outside corner at the knees to even the count. The 1-1. Just a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike.
That's the one thing that you will probably see tonight with Scherzer. When he falls behind you, he did to Santana. Pretty good chance you may get a fastball, because he can throw it in the mid-90s, 95, 96.
Right back over the screen. That was a lot better than 63. Not sure why our gun was at 63. The in-park gun was 95, and that looked like 95. It was in there pretty good.
Well, if that one didn't get a speeding ticket out on the highway, I'm sure. No. He'd be flagged.
With a runner at first and 2 down, the 2-2 pitch. A little low, count goes full. If Hafner gets aboard, Austin Kearns would be next. Hafner, a career .268 hitter against Detroit. 8 for 26 this year, which is better than .300 average. And he takes ball 4. So after retiring the first 2 with relative ease, Scherzer walks back-to-back hitters. And it brings up Austin Kearns. And let's take a look at our great clip of the game. Brought to you by Great Clips. Go back to that last game before the All-Star break. And check out Austin Kearns, who drove an affair with that base hit right there. Relax. You're at Great Clips. And Austin brings a 4-game hitting streak into today's action. And after those back-to-back walks, this will be the 20th pitch of the first inning for Max Scherzer, and that's inside for ball 1. Scherzer was a key component in that. No other way to describe it than a blockbuster trade that involved Curtis Granderson going from the Tigers to the Yankees. The Tigers sent Edwin Jackson to Arizona, and the Yankees sent Ian Kennedy to Arizona. And then Max Scherzer and Daniel Schlereth both came to the Tigers. Pretty good pitchers from Arizona. And then Austin Jackson from the Yankees came to the Tigers. And then Phil Koch also ended up with Detroit in that deal. Kearns pops it in the air. Right field, routine for Ordonez. That'll end the inning. Tribe strands a pair. After an inning of play, it's Detroit 1, Cleveland nothing.
Subway, play hard, eat fresh. By Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers.
All right, we're back here at Progressive Field on a gorgeous evening in downtown Cleveland. Well, you may miss Chew, but believe it or not, he's going to be back before you realize it. I talked to Chew in the clubhouse before the ball game today, and he said that that thumb is really responding well to the treatment and the rest that he's had.
Well, that's great news.
You know, it was interesting, Rick, because you called it when the injury actually occurred, and it didn't look good. And initially, it looked like surgery was a definite possibility. And Chew told me that when the doctors originally looked at the MRI, he said it looked like a torn ligament. But he said when the doctor did the exam, he realized that the ligament wasn't damaged because of the way he was, pulling his thumb back.
Right.
He said if you have a torn ligament in your thumb, as the 1-1 pitch is delivered, popped in the air to left. He used the example of Shaquille O'Neal, who Dr. Graham also dealt with Shaquille O'Neal, and he was saying that when his ligament was torn in his thumb, he was able to pull his thumb all the way back and literally touch his wrist.
Wow.
But with Chew, that wasn't the case, and so the doctor said, you know what, I don't think it's torn. I think with maybe rest, you might be good to go. Well, he's continued to work very diligently. He took soft toss yesterday, took regular batting practice today, and he told me he's hoping to maybe get out on some rehab games, maybe as early as next week. And so that could put him, and again, this is all if everything goes perfectly and there are no setbacks. He could be back by the end of the month, maybe around the same time as Dribble Cabrera comes back.
That would be great. They'd be welcome back because they've got a chance to do some spoiling.
The other thing is, too, and I was talking to Manny Act about this, you realize when Chew went out, you still have to let the 15 days run out on the DL first. And I didn't happen to take a look exactly when he went on the DL, as that ball's lined just beyond the reach of Jason Donald. And a one-out single here in the second inning. When would Chew be eligible to come off
let's
there?
See.
On July 4th,
July 4th, so
19th. So
coming
couple
up. More days.
Yeah.
Well, there's a ball hit right on the nose by Brandon Inge. That'll be the third hit for the Tigers.
So the good news for the Tribe, as you look at things to watch in the second half of the season, getting Cabrera back, getting Chu back, to go along with what we've already seen from Santana, to see how they play with, Jason Nix and or Jason Donald and Matt Laporta.
Well,
see
just
how
to
this
get your
group
regulars
gels
back
together.
I
Yeah.
mean, you're 1 and 2 hitters when they went out. Come on, how many teams can afford to lose their first 2 hitters in the lineup and be respectable? I mean, they were having a tough time scoring when those guys were in there.
Yep.
I mean, it's been a lot tougher with them out.
The 0-1 pitch. Called strike. And, of course, Grady Sizemore, we won't see him again until next spring training. But, yeah, I mean, that's a big chunk of your offense right at the top of the lineup.
Well, sure, the Indians are the youngest team now in the big leagues, but sometimes it's awfully tough to force feed a lot of these kids when you are struggling. You can't take them out to give them a breather because you have nobody else to put in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've got to learn the hard way. I mean, under fire, and sometimes at this level, when you go out there and try to learn, and when you're struggling, it's awfully tough because you put undue pressure on yourself, never being through it before.
Well, and that's the kind of the beauty and the curse of baseball all wrapped into one. There's no break. It does not let up.
No.
And if you are struggling, the game moves on, whether you're on board or not.
That's the guy that has to remain patient, which he does. I mean, he's remarkable. He stays in there with a really good attitude. But the coaches, they're constantly teaching every day.
Fouled away. 2-2 the count on Alex Avila. What Jake Westbrook really can ill afford to do now is waste any pitches unnecessarily, because he made a ton in that first inning.
They're hitting a lot of foul balls off him. They're not trying to roll over on him. They're just slapping them foul. 32 in the first inning.
Outside, full count.
Another full count. He's had a ton of them, 4.
Ramon Santiago waiting on deck as Westbrook tries to find it here in the first inning, or in the second inning rather, after giving up a run in the first. See if Inge takes off. He does. 3-2 pitch. Swung on a miss. Thrown out to second base, and they got him. Strike him out. Throw him out. Double play. Ends the second inning. Westbrook fans Oliva, and Santana guns down Inge. Field. We got beach hats, Webkins.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night. The floppy hat will be tomorrow night. Tonight, fireworks after the ball game. Sunday, kids' fun day.
That's when they're getting
200 tons of sand out there on the plaza.
They're getting the Webkins Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. What are we calling the tomato clownfish? Not sure if you're familiar with the tomato clownfish.
I will be.
Now the 2-0 to Matt Laporta. Down in the dirt. 3 balls, no strikes. Laporta with a hit in 10 of his last 11 games, batting .395 during that tear. 4 of his homers, 11 runs batted in. .3-1 delivery. And strike 2 called, full count. Now the payoff pitch. Low, ball 4. 3rd walk issued already by Scherzer. Saturday, July 31st, the 10th annual Cleveland Browns Dr. Charles Drew Blood Drive will be held to benefit the American Red Cross. Blood Drive will be conducted across Northeast Ohio with guest appearances by Browns alumni at select locations. Donors will receive a T-shirt and an opportunity to win Browns memorabilia. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit clevelandbrowns.com for full details. Walks really not a problem for Scherzer coming into tonight's action in 93 2/3 innings. 35 walks against 88 strikeouts. Maybe it's just a matter of finding that strike zone here in the early going.
Well, he's fallen behind. He's tried to work that breaking ball in, sometimes behind in the count. And I think it's all comes off of commanding that fastball, which he hasn't had good command of yet to this point. That's when he's going to get his strikeouts. He's going to get his strikeouts when he gets ahead of you with the heater, and then he can go to that off-speed pitch, that slider, keep it tight, or the changeup. And then he can run one by you upstairs as well. There's a good fastball. You see, if you locate that, 96. There's room for error there.
Yes, indeed. Now the 1-2 delivery. Sliced down the left field line, fair ball. Laporta around second. He's going to go to third. The ball carries past Bosch. And now Laporta's going to score. Heading for third is Crow. Throw comes to the plate, not in time. Indians tie the game. Trevor Crow with an opposite field base hit. And then Brendan Bosch simply misplayed the ball down near the left field corner on the carom. And once it rolled past him, the Indians base runners were off to the races.
Crow did a nice job at digging out a low heater, a low fastball going the other way. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. And Bosch in left, not playing here a lot. Watch that ball ricochet off. He runs himself into a corner. And that ball comes off the wall. You got to let it slow down, let it come back to you. That's just lack of playing in this ballpark. And look at Laporta chugging around having to score from first base. He does just that. They give him a triple. So give him an RBI triple on the play. The Indians tie it up.
And Andy Marte steps in with a runner at third, infield back. Chance for the Tribe to grab the lead now.
Trevor Crow, his third triple.
Missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Matt Laporta, yeah, as you mentioned.
Get the oxygen, give him something to drink.
He had the pedal down.
As far as it would go.
Maybe there's a governor on it.
Well, you don't expect it. You know it's a base hit, so you're on first base and you're trying to get to third base. Then all of a sudden you see that coach waving you on because of a misplay, and you're thinking, uh-oh, now I got to reach down and kick it into gear.
1-1 pitch. You know the one thing he did not do, which is a common mistake, I think, of ball players? He did not assume that Bosch was going to make that play. So while he may not be fleet of foot, he was running as hard as he could, and therefore
going.
he never had to break stride or turn it up a notch and get going again.
That's right. Don't think you're going to downshift and just stop at third base. You're right. Things happen.
Up high, 2-2 the count. So Scherzer struggling here with his command in the early going, and the Indians have come back to tie the game. Chance to take the lead now.
This is Scherzer's second start in this ballpark. He started back on the 9th of May, went 5 innings, gave up 9 hits and 5 runs. It was a loss.
Well, a full count here. With Crow, the runner, at third base. Jason Donald waits on deck. There he is. And the payoff pitch to Marte. Inside, almost hit him. So that's now the 4th walk already tonight for Max Scherzer. And Indians at the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see their pitching coach. He is all over the place right now. We see his last start came on the 7th of July against the Orioles. So it's been 8 days. So maybe, and is out of whack, a little extra rest, trying to find a feel for the strike zone.
Well, if you're Rick Knapp, what do you tell him here? I mean, it looked like he was trying to go to his breaking ball to try to find the feel for that.
They're working with everything. Locate your fastball. He's got a good enough one. For this kid, he's got to spot his fastball. Once he gets that in place, he'll be fine.
Each pitcher has already had 4 full counts, and we're only in the 2nd inning. So maybe a little rust.
Well, this is a guy too. Now, when you look at him, you would think with his stuff, the good hitters will get their hits, but hitters 5 through 9 off Scherzer have hit .294 and have hit 9 home runs. So he's been able to handle the first 4 in the order much better than he has the bottom part.
Jason Donald batting .274, as you see there.
But today it's been the walk.
Trying to keep the pressure on. Time had been called, and a little bit of a late call there by Jerry Lane.
Yeah, I'm surprised they gave it to him.
That's just based on what we've seen this year and going back to last year.
He's holding. Oh, that's too late. That guy was already getting ready to throw the baseball. I am very surprised he gave him timeout.
Now the 0-1. Bouncing ball, wide to short. Backhanded by Santiago. Low throw, dug out nicely at second base for the force. Donald is safe at first, picks up his 13th run batted in on the year, and the Indians take a 2-1 lead.
That was a terrific pick there by Guillen. He saved Santiago at short of an error. He was trying to make a terrific play and did not give him a good feed. But his partner picked him up here. Watch the pick at second base. Still continued. That was a nice, as Marte went in there, looks like he slid a little late. But Guillen gets rid of the ball, and you're not going to turn it there. So Donald beats it out. Indians take a 2-1 lead.
Michael Brantley grounded to first his first time up. And a first pitch strike is in there. Michael Brantley trying to snap an 0 for 19. Strike is called, and the count quickly 0-2.
Well, for Michael, I know he's a patient hitter. But I'll tell you what, when you take 2 fastballs from a guy that's a fastball pitcher, to put yourself down in the count, now you've got to really battle.
And the 2-strike pitch. Well, the thing I wonder about, Rick, is I know there's a gap, a sizable gap, an ever-widening gap, in fact, between AAA and the big leagues. But is it a 200-point gap? Because that's what you're talking about with Brantley, who hit 315 at AAA, and he's hitting 116.
To be honest with you, I'll tell you what, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think, Brantley was down there. He wasn't doing anything special down there. He got called up because of injury. That's why. I don't think he deserved the call-up, as far as the production goes. So he was called up, and they wanted to take a look at him to play center field and lead off, so they plug him into the spots. But he didn't hit his way up here to get put into that leadoff spot and play center field. He did it because of injury, and right now he's struggling, and it's tough to struggle at this level.
That 315 average for Brantley was second in the International League this year at the time of his call-up. 2-strike pitch, a little bit outside. I know one of the things that they talked about with Brantley is they wanted him to work on a little bit of that inside-out stroke, trying to stay on the ball a little bit more.
You can talk about anything. His job, if they want him, he's got to get on base, period. If you're going to be a leadoff hitter, your job is to get on base. However you get on, he's more of a singles hitter than anything.
And a little foul out to third, 2 down. So with 2 down, it'll bring up Jason Nix as we look at the AT&T trivia question. AT&T Rethink Possible, last American League Cy Young Award winner, not to come from the Central Division. Last Cy Young Award winner that did not come out of the AL Central. Is it Josh Beckett? No, CC beat Beckett for the Cy Young Award in 07. Who won it in 06? There's the pitch, and it's hammered foul by Jason Nix. Good one. Might be Roy Halladay. 0-1 pitch. Fouled out of play to the right. Two down. Indians on top 2-1 with 2 runs in here in the second inning. Jason Nix struck out his first time up. And he strikes out to end the second inning. 2 complete. Tribe now on top 2-1. And see our Miller taste greatness moment. Oh, we've got a dandy here tonight. I don't remember what it was, but I read it earlier, and it was a good one. Beach weekend here at Progressive Field. It's like Popper out there making a sandcastle, doesn't it?
As a matter of fact, he was. He's not sitting up here anymore. I think he's down there making it.
Ramon Santiago leading off, takes a strike. Did he hear us?
Yeah. He knows. No, he didn't hear us.
No balls, 2 strikes. Santiago, 268 hitter on the year. Santiago had a 9-game hitting streak that ended on July 5th. That's a new career high for him. 2-strike pitch. In the air, left field, well struck, but over into the gap to grab it is Trevor Crowe for out number 1. Turn it over to the top of the order now. Time for our Subway Fresh Face of the game. Right-hander Carlos Carrasco in a 6-1 win last night went 7 innings, allowed just 2 hits, struck out half a dozen. 8 wins on the year. Subway Fresh Face of the game. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Austin Jackson fouls it out of play. Singled, stole a base, scored the only run for the Tigers thus far in the first inning. In the air to center field, Michael Brantley. 2 down. And with 2 away, Johnny Damon, who popped up to third base his first time up, will be the batter. But Damon put up a pretty good battle against Jake Westbrook, fouled a number of pitches off, and then broke his battle in that pop-up to third. No balls, 2 strikes, quickly the count. And while Westbrook threw a lot of pitches in the first inning, seems to be finding a little bit of a groove here. Swung on and missed. And Jake Westbrook sets him down 1, 2, 3 here in the third inning. East Fan 3 Tigers, and the Indians lead it 2-1. Tribe on top. Third inning, home half. Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, and Austin Kearns. Max Scherzer puts it in there for a strike. Santana walked his first time up. That's one of 4 walks issued by Scherzer in the first 2 innings tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. So he's walked 4, struck out 2, given up 2 runs. Popped in the air. Foul territory, into the seats it goes. Santana with a 2-2 count now. Full count.
Yeah, going deep to a lot of hitters. That one last inning for Westbrook really helped. Would he have an 8-pitch inning?
8-pitch inning. All strikes.
That's what you need, to settle in. And Westbrook is definitely capable of doing it. We'll see if Scherzer is.
Checked his swing. It was down low. Ball 4. He's walked him twice. That's 5 now in the game for Scherzer, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard for the 2nd inning in a row.
Well, enjoy 2 Cleveland sports for one low price with the new Indians-Browns 4-pack. Get tickets to the July 27th Yankees game and the August 14th Mariners game, plus tickets to the Browns home opener against the Chiefs on September 19th, and then the Browns-Panthers on November 28th, all for just $99. Log on to Indians.com/Browns combo.
At the knees, a strike. Hafner not so sure. It's 0-2. Already a season.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it earlier. It's not like he had a lot of walks coming in. 35 against 88 strikeouts. And
yeah, he's more of a punch-out guy than he is a walk guy. That's for sure.
That's outside. A ball and 2 strikes.
One thing I've noticed since last Sunday when we were in Tampa before the break is Hafner. It looks like to me he's more upright in his batting stance than what he has been.
And he strikes out. 3 strikeouts for Max Scherzer. 1 down in the 3rd.
See, he gets ahead with the fastball, and he was able to get Hafner to chase the changeup. Down and away, good pitch. It looks like the fastball. When you're throwing 96, you got to get it started if you're a hitter. Then all of a sudden he pulls the string, and you have the hitters out front. That's when you get. That's how he's going to get his strikeouts.
Austin Kearns flied to right in his first at bat. Checked his swing, rolls it over to the Tiger dugout.
I want to send out a happy birthday wish to John Salina of Portland, Ohio, turning 88. Ron DeCavich of Streetsboro, turning 74. Happy birthday.
Runner goes. Santana got a good break. Throw down to second base, not in time. Santana nearly overslid the bag completely, but he's got his 2nd steal.
No, he did a couple of things in Tampa that were very impressive. He got his first stolen base, but remember with that shift, he bunted a couple times for base.
The 0-2. Bounced it in there. Happy wedding anniversary to Don and Bonnie Belke in Parma. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary tonight. So congratulations to Don and Bonnie Belke in Parma. Hope you're having a great night. 1-2 delivery. A little bit too high, evens the count. Also want to wish Jake Depperschmidt a happy birthday tonight. He's celebrating his 10th birthday here at the ballpark with his Mustang baseball team. Now the 2-2. Checked on a ball down low, and a good eye from Kearns. Runs the count full. So Scherzer in danger of walking his 6th. 5 full counts for Scherzer, 5 walks. And a 3-2. Popped him in the air. Shallow right, coming hard, Ordonez. He'll give way to the second baseman, Guillen. 2 down. Browns training camp will open up Saturday, July 31st in Berea. And STO will be there once again with Training Camp Daily. Jim Donovan, Doug Deacon, Tony Grossi, Mary Kay Cabot, Andre Knott, and the coach, Sam Rutigliano, all return to provide updates as the Browns get ready for the season. Training Camp Daily returns Saturday, July 31st at 10, right here on STO. Matt Laporta brushed back. He walked and scored in the second inning. One-0 pitch. Jammed him, rolls it to second base. Santiago throws him out. And the leadoff walk does no damage. 3 complete, 2-1 Cleveland. The only thing missing, Arch, is some
the
waves.
ocean.
Yeah, a little ocean piece. Maybe
That's
they can
exactly
import
right.
the ocean next year.
Well,
Really.
it's just a few blocks down the way. Oil Can Boyd said that he doesn't like pitching near the ocean.
Maglio Ordonez
He went.
checked on a ball inside. He did go too far, says Brian Runge.
He sure did.
Oil Can Boyd.
You remember him, don't you?
Yeah, colorful character back with the Boston Red Sox, and when that game got fogged out. That was his infamous quote. That's what you get when you build a ballpark next to the ocean.
That's right.
Inside the bag at first, Ordonez down into the right field corner. Kearns trying to dig it out, but he will not be able to stop Ordonez from a leadoff double.
Well, that's what you were talking about in his first at-bat, why he stays on the ball. Jake was able to get him on the breaking ball 3-2 to strike him out. This time, I'm staying on the baseball and look at him go down the first baseline. It was a sinker coming in. Not only does it keep you on that breaking ball, but it keeps you inside Jake's best pitch, that sinker running down and into the right-handers. So Ordonez with his 16th double and the leadoff double with a chance now they're going to try and tie it up.
Well, now for the second time tonight, he faces Miguel Cabrera with first base open. Now, the first time up, there were 2 outs. And he pitched to him, and Cabrera singled to left, driving in the Tigers' only run. Here, there's nobody out. And he goes after the first pitch just like he did in that first at-bat, chased the ball down out of the strike zone.
Well, when you're a hitter like him, he figures, that first pitch may be the best pitch. Westbrook hung him a breaking ball there, and not a good decision. That's how Detroit got on the board. But when you're an RBI guy, they figure, okay, he's going to try and get ahead of me early, so he's going to be aggressive. Got him to swing at his changeup that time. Now you see, if you want to pitch him out of the zone and he wants to go after it, fine. Let him get himself out.
0-2 the count.
13 straight strikes for Westbrook.
Now, Cabrera is the kind of hitter, and we've seen it in the past, where you might get ahead of him, but if you don't come real close, he'll suddenly go into very stingy mode.
He's just a terrific hitter. He's really fun to watch.
Ripped foul.
I mean, even when you have him down, he never feels like he's out of an at-bat. Well, there's one that Jake, he had good sink to it coming in, but it was upstairs a little bit. Good pitch.
See, there you go. He gets that close eye, and all of a sudden he's going to lay off the tight pitches.
Well, good hitters. You don't hit 3, he's hitting 3, almost 350. You don't hit that without being a good 2-strike hitter.
2-2. Bounce foul.
But, legitimately for a Triple Crown, when you think about it, I think the average would be the toughest thing for him to get. He has the power, and he can drive in the runs as long as guys keep getting on in front of him. But, boy, I don't know if we'll ever see a Triple Crown winner again, especially in the American League with some of the left-handers like Mauer and Ichiro. They usually hit for big average, although Mauer's not there this year.
Down in the dirt, Santana with a good block to keep that runner at second base.
You think you got Robinson Cano that's in this league from the left side that's a high average hitter. Morneau, who's probably going on the DL if he isn't already there. And Hamilton is leading the league at 351, and he's hitting down in Texas, another left-handed hitter. And Cabrera's not going to get any hits, with his legs.
3-2, popped in the air. Pretty well hit, though. Deep right center. Back goes Kearns, running out of real estate, pulls it down on the track. Ordonez will tag and go to third. Boy, initially it didn't seem like he got much of that. And that ball still carried.
Yeah.
Close to 360 feet.
That's the strength of Cabrera. And a job well done. He moves the runner from second to third on and out, even though he was down in the count 0-2. That's a productive out, and it was a good pitch. Westbrook looked like he threw that changeup down and away, and he was able to keep his hands back enough to hit it very deep, or deep enough to right field to let the runner move up. Now the infield's going to come halfway.
Brendan Bosch rolled over on a ground ball to second base his first time up.
That was a full count pitch. I think Westbrook threw him the changeup.
Tribe on top 2-1, but the Tigers threatening here in the fourth. They're tying run at third base and only one out. 65th pitch of the night for Westbrook right here. And a hard ground ball up the middle. Nice stop by Donald, but his only play is at first. The Tigers tie the game as Bosch drives in his 50th run on the season.
And I mean, that's what happens when you bring your infield in. It's got to be right at the guy. Donald made a beautiful play to get the out. Takes a hit away from him. They will tie the game, but he makes a beautiful diving stop. He didn't have a chance at home because you're off on contact. And if it's not right at the guy, then you're going to get your job done. So Bosch gets the RBI, number 50. And it's a nice play by Jason Donald to get the second out.
And again, what maybe doesn't show up in the box score is certainly not lost in that Tiger dugout or the clubhouse, and that's the fact that Miguel Cabrera got the runner over from second to third.
Yeah, I mean,
if he pops up and you don't advance him, that's a routine out, and the inning's over. Or at least the threat of them tying the game certainly is lessened.
Well, those are the things you do day in and day out. On a daily basis over 162, it pays dividends. That's how you win ball games. They get that. You get them on the leadoff double, get them over, get them in. Doesn't matter how you do it, just do it. It's not going to happen all the time.
2-0 pitch fouled out of plate on the left side. Two-one delivery. Fouled out of play. One more birthday wish tonight. Happy birthday to Brenda Boyd Blessing, celebrating her. Are you supposed to give out birthday ages for women? I think that's taboo, right?
Well, unless they want you to. If they give you the age, yes. If not, then, I mean, you're a man of discretion. You know better.
Yeah, I'm just going to say happy birthday to Brenda Boyd Blessing.
Well, I'm going to say congratulations to Harvey and Elaine Arnold celebrating their 63rd wedding anniversary. And Harvey plays in the Indians Dixieland Band here at the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
So, Harvey and Elaine, congratulations.
Happy anniversary indeed. Ball 4. A 2-out walk to Guillen keeps the inning alive.
Well, the beach party will continue on Sunday. It's KeyBank Kids Fun Day. All kids attending the game will receive a Webkins goldfish. There it is. You saw it. The red one. And you can run the bases after the ball game. 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com for the tickets. It's supposed to be a nice hot Sunday, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Technically, that's a Webkins tomato clownfish.
Okay.
I'm not sure the difference between the goldfish and the tomato clownfish.
That's what's on it. Well, maybe they gave us they got a goldfish on their promo.
Maybe there are other Webkins.
I bet there are.
What a racket. We missed out on this one.
Yeah. Can't even put that in the water, though.
No. Then the kids take this and they go online with it, and there's a whole other world opens up to them. Brandon Inge with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Single to left his first time up. Tied at 2 now here in the fourth inning. 75th pitch of the night for Westbrook. Runner goes. Strike is called. Throw down. They got him. Oh, what a throw by Santana as he wipes out Carlos Guillen. Second time a Tiger has been caught stealing tonight. We head to the bottom of the fourth. We are now tied at 2. up here at Progressive Field. Beautiful night here in downtown Cleveland. We've got fireworks after the ball game tonight. Trevor Crow leading off, bottom third of the Indians' order here. Crow tripled in a run and scored in the second inning. The 0-1. The 1-1. Hit well, left center field. This is in the alley. Jackson won't get it. That'll go to the fence on one hop. And into second base with a double is Trevor Crow. He's 2 for 2. And the go-ahead run in scoring position to start the bottom of the fourth.
Well, his first hit, a triple, which was a gift because Bosch misplayed it, but this ball smoked. Scherzer left the plate, a pitch middle of the plate where Trevor Crow stays on it, goes the other way. He will get his 11th double and a good start to the fourth inning as they will try to answer that run that the Tigers put on in the top half of the inning, and they did it the same way, the leadoff double. They got him over and got him in.
Andy Marte drew a walk his first time up. One of Max Scherzer's 5 walks issued. Already a new career high for the Tigers right-hander. That's down low, 1-1.
Well, out of the 5, only one has come around to score. That was Laporta back in the second inning. The Indians with 2 hits. Trevor Crow with both of them.
Well, Andy Marte hasn't had a whole lot of offensive success, just 12 hits and 65 at-bats. But he's ahead 3-1 now. Back to the screen. Marte trying to send that one to the bleachers. Full count. Scherzer ready. Payoff pitch. Takes a look at Crow at second. And Marte socks it deep to left field. Bosch looking up. It is gone to Souvenir City. Andy Marte's 3rd home run of the year. A 2-run shot in the 4th. Puts the Indians on top 4-2.
Again, Scherzer falling behind. Gives up his 14th home run. Marte coming back, and he liked the pitch. And Scherzer grooves it, and Marte hammers it right down Broadway. He put a swing on it into the seats for Andy Marte, his 3rd home run. And the Indians come right back and put a 2-spot on the board and answer that one. It's a 4-2 Indians lead.
Now there's a ball smoked to deep center. Austin Jackson sprinting back. That's going to hit the fence. And into second base with a double is Jason Donald. Double, homer, double to start the bottom of the 4th for the bottom third of the Indians' order. Looked like a fastball right down the middle of the plate.
He's leaving him right down the middle of the plate. And they are taking advantage of it. Again, you get the bottom part of that lineup that's doing the damage. All 4 hits that the Indians have. Crow has 2, Marte, and now Donald. 7, 8, 9.
Boy, it's funny. You know, sometimes it's that bottom third of the order that I don't know if a pitcher maybe just inadvertently lets up a little bit or the concentration lapses. But sometimes it's the guys you don't assume are going to get you that do. You know, left-hander loosening for the Tigers.
Well, and
Scherzer,
usually
76 pitches on the night.
When you're getting some production like they have the first 2 times through that lineup, is you take a little bit of pressure off the guys up at the top.
Brantley showing bunts it foul. Yeah, usually if your bottom third produces, that's a big night offensively.
Yeah.
You know the top guys are going to get you a couple.
And then they get you that lead. Then it's time to sit back. You can relax. Not relax, if you know what I mean. It takes the pressure off. Especially you're looking at the 4th inning. The Indians already with 4 on the board.
Andy Marte with that 2-run homer. Puts the Indians in front. Now the 0-1 to Brantley. High and wide. And a ball and a strike.
Well, right here in this situation, get him over. You got whether it takes a bunt. You know, Brantley's not a guy that pulls the ball to the right side a whole lot. So if you don't, you got to find a way to get him over there.
Right back off the mask of Alex Avila. That'll make you want to check your molars. Make sure they're still attached in the back of your jaw. 2-2. Bloop foul, out of play. Jim Leyland looking on. His young pitcher, Max Scherzer, struggling here tonight. He's allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. He's walked a career-high 5. Runner at second with nobody out on the 2-2 to Brantley. Guillen flags it down, throws him out. Donald goes to third with 1 away.
Job well done.
On this date in 1995, Manny Ramirez hit his wow home run. Why is it the wow home run?
Extra innings.
The reaction of Dennis Eckersley. Wow. That's our legendary performance brought to you by Cabot Wood Stains. There weren't many guys that could wow Dennis Eckersley. He was usually the guy pointing fingers, shooting the guns.
Well,
Manny Ramirez, though,
well, he
was just kind of starting to scratch the surface at that point.
He took a lot of guys deep like that late in the game. That was extra innings, and that was just the magical year here at Jacobs Field.
Infield in now with 1 out for Jason Nix, who has struck out in each of his first 2 at bats here tonight. Nix 0 for his last 12. The 0-1 is a pitch out, and that's the first pitch that was not a strike for Jason Nix tonight. Whether he was swinging or whether he was taking, they were all strikes up to that point.
They're thinking, okay, what about a little squeeze play here? That's why you pitch out there. Leland realized he saw Manny Acta put a squeeze on, I'm sure, before. It's in the reports. But not in this situation. Nix has been swinging the bat too well to be putting the bunt on here in your middle of the game.
And a strike is called. 1-2 the count.
Nix was your hitter against the Blue Jays when he put the squeeze on. Do you remember?
That's right.
He's only been here for 3 days. Again,
the infield in. The 1-2 pitch to Nix. He lays off that time, 2-2. Another 20-pitch inning for Max Scherzer, who may be nearing the end of the line. He's at 86 pitches on the night. He's had to work for it in every inning. So 86 tonight might feel like 106 to him. Even though he's still 9 days shy of his 26th birthday. Swung on and missed. He gets the strikeout, his 4th on the night. And there are 2 down.
Well, he gets Jason with another breaking ball, another good slider there. Slider down and away. So he has gotten Nick's 3 times tonight out of his 4 strikeouts.
And Carlos Santana will be the batter. Now, whereas Nix has struck out in each at-bat, Santana has walked in his first 2 at-bats. Infield backs up for the Tigers now. And this, to me, Rick, is probably the, and I know it's understandable why people would compare Santana to Victor Martinez, but this, to me, is the big difference, and that is he's more patient than I ever saw Victor be.
Absolutely. There's no question about it.
Santana hits a high pop. Foul ground. Racing hard as Bosch makes the catch. So the inning is over, but not before Andy Marte puts the Indians on top with a 2-run homer. 4-2 Tribe after 4. New real fruit smoothies are now available in wild berry and strawberry banana flavors. By KeyBank, stop in and start a conversation and unlock your possibilities. And by Panini's, now open in Chagrin Falls and Solon. Visit paninisgrill.com. It's a 4-2 Indians lead. Brandon Inge will lead off. Let's see what Westbrook can do now. He's facing the bottom third of the Tigers order. It was the bottom third of the Indians lineup that put him on top in the last half inning with a 2-run homer by Andy Marte.
Well, that's right. They came right back after they tied it up, so now it's up to Jake to go out there and put a 0 on the board. They average over 4 runs a game when Jake's on the mound. And there's been times where he's given it back. This is one time where you want to see him hold it. I mean, not just this inning, but offensively. You're the veteran on this staff, and that's something that he's striving for, is to be a little more consistent than he was that first half.
Foul tip by Inge into the mid of Santana. That's out number 1. 4th strikeout for Jake Westbrook.
Well, Beach Weekend continues all weekend long, and tomorrow all fans attending will receive a floppy hat courtesy of the Cleveland Clinic. Come on down early, party at the Gateway Plaza on the beach. Tickets now on sale. Visit Indians.com.
Alex Avila steps in, hits a big bouncing ball to second base. Nix flips it over quickly, 2 down. All right, I have to make good on a birthday announcement that I completely butchered earlier.
Okay.
Remember I was talking about Brenda Boyd Blessing and didn't want to announce her age? Well, that was her. That was the mom.
Okay.
Sending in the birthday wish for her daughter.
Oh.
That's Laura Blessing Gilmore, who's celebrating her birthday today.
And you can give the age on that one?
Nah, I still wouldn't.
Okay.
Still. You know, it's just one of those.
Well, happy birthday any way you look at
Absolutely.
it.
Happy birthday.
And if we come back a third time, we're giving the number.
Well, I know her husband, Mark, and he probably he might take a swing at me if I announce that. So. 2 down, Jake Westbrook trying to set him down 1-2-3 for the second time tonight. Tigers got a run in the first on a 2-out RBI hit by Miguel Cabrera. Their only other run came on an RBI ground out in the fourth. Santiago takes a strike, 3-1. Ramon Santiago flied to left in his first at bat. Slices it foul over top of the Indians' dugout. Payoff pitch. So what do you think about the National League will have home field advantage in the World Series for the first time in
13 years. 96 was the last time that the American League lost. Well, good.
Bouncing ball to second. Going to be a quick inning for Jake Westbrook. Nix throws him out. Tigers go 1-2-3 for the second time tonight. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. 4-2 Tribe. Here at Progressive Field, Tribe got an RBI triple from Trevor Crow and an RBI ground out to get their 2 in the second, and then big 2-run homer from Andy Marte in the fourth. We'll have the whole recap for you coming up here in a little while. Travis Hafner, Austin Kearns, Matt Laporta here in the fifth, and Max Scherzer Just over the 90 pitch mark on the night.
This is the Indians, or Travis has got to get going for them. He hasn't had an RBI in the last 9 games.
Right field coming hard. Ordonez will pull up and play it on a bounce. And Travis Hafner is aboard with a leadoff single here in the 5th inning.
There's a fastball in. It's the 5th hit and the first hit for the top 6 guys in this lineup. It's been 7, 8, 9 so far. Hafner leads off the 5th. And Scherzer has had base runners every inning. Has yet to have a 1-2-3 inning, and most of the time it's been the walk.
And Austin Kearns 0 for 2. He's popped the ball up both times tonight. Fouls that one off his foot. Kearns looks at a ball down and in. You know, it's interesting, Rick, when you look at Austin Kearns, last year played in 80 games. The year before played in 86 games. So he's already played almost as much baseball this year as he has in each of the last 2 years.
Yeah, and there's still a long way to go.
And you just wonder from a physical standpoint, and I know it's not like you're sprinting up and down the court in basketball all night long, but physically this game has to take its toll on you after playing every day.
It does mentally, too. The one good thing about him so far this year is he's been healthy.
Well, he strikes out here, 1 down. Kearns back to the dugout, frustrated 0 for 3 tonight. This game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Miguel Cabrera, 2-out RBI single, made it 1-zip Detroit. Trevor Crowe, RBI triple, tied the game. Indians would take a 2-1 lead. Tigers would tie it. Then Andy Marte, 2-run blast, 4-2 try. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. There's Robbie Weinhart loosening in the Tiger bullpen. Matt Laporta has walked and scored, grounded out. Right back to the screen, almost into our camera. Right back into your living room. Right into the bowl of popcorn.
That hit your brother on your right-hand side.
And my other brother, Daryl. Low and away.
Well, Scherzer going to try and work his way through this inning if he can get through it. In his last start, I told you, in this ballpark, he went 5 innings, gave up 9 hits and 5 runs. He's only given up 5 hits today, but the big 2-run homer.
Tried to hold up one around, 2-2.
You know, this is the first time in his last 4 starts that he's allowed more than 1 run in any start. He was on some kind of roll. And like I said, maybe it's the 8 days in between starts. I don't know. He's had a pretty good slider when he's gotten ahead of hitters, but he just, his control, spotting that fastball or controlling it, the command of it really hasn't
just foul behind the back.
Been there for him tonight. We told you season high 5 walks. He also has 5 punch outs. But in his last 4 starts, he's given up just 3 runs. You know, sometimes when you're a player, most players, you wanted to see that all-star break come. For some, you say, I don't want to. I've been on too good of a roll. You would think Cabrera, who's been swinging the bat very well, and if you're pitching like Scherzer has, you don't want to break. You want to stay in the rotation and take your turn.
Swung on and missed. Laporta went fishing. And so now Scherzer's piled up a half dozen strikeouts to go along with his career-high 5 walks.
You know, now comes the guy that's done the damage.
Let's go back to the studios real quick for an in-game update. Here's Dave Chudowski.
Matt, the Yankees celebrated the life of George Steinbrenner tonight with a 15-minute pregame tribute. Steinbrenner, of course, died at the age of 80 on Tuesday. Nick Swisher with an RBI single for a Yankees run, but they trail 3-1 in the fifth.
All right, thanks, Dave. George Steinbrenner dying just days after Bob Shepard, the longtime PA voice at Yankee Stadium, passed away.
Yeah, Bob Shepard was, what, 99?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Any particular George Steinbrenner memories that you have from your days, not only as a player, but as a broadcaster, being around the game as long as you
Well,
have?
he was always, the man that, believe me, when you'd go to New York, it was what did he put on the scoreboard when we went there the one time after we beat him 20? Was it 22-3 or something like that?
He put up
Didn't
on the
he
marquee.
apologize?
No, he had a inspirational message put up on the marquee. Winners never quit, quitters never win. And the thing I remember is all day long on a loop during batting practice, he had that Billy Ocean song, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Remember that song? He had that playing over and over again.
Well, we used to go there and play it. It seemed like every time we went there, Billy Martin was the manager one time. The next time we go in, he wasn't. I don't know how many times he was the manager.
Crowe swung and chased it, but the ball goes to the backstop, and the inning stays alive. A strikeout on a wild pitch, Hafner to second base. And the Indians keep the inning alive for Andy Marte.
Yeah, he's got a chance to get 4 punch-outs in an inning. That's a rarity. But it was a good pitch. Crowe goes after it. Change up in the dirt. Avila cannot keep it in front of him, so it goes as a wild pitch, and now the inning will continue as runners are on first and second.
Andy Marte, 2-run homer to the bleachers and left his last time up. I just know this, Rick. Reggie Jackson was the original straw that stirs the drink for the Yankees, but to me, George Steinbrenner was always the straw that stirred the drink.
No doubt. I mean, his passion for winning, and I mean, he was a terrific owner, and he certainly will be missed in baseball.
The 0-1 pitch. I mean, remember back to 07 when the Indians were playing the Yankees in the playoffs, and even though shortly thereafter he turned over control of the team operations to his sons, he was still firing at Joe Torre in that playoff series. You know, if Joe doesn't win, he may not be back next year. Sure enough, he wasn't.
The ultimate competitor.
Popped him up sky high on the infield. First baseman Miguel Cabrera charging in. He's got it, and the inning is over. Indians strand a pair through 5, 4-2 Cleveland. planters, 16 to 20 ounce dry roasted peanuts, only $2.78 at any Northeast Ohio Mark's location.
So come into your nearest Mark's, where you'll find a huge selection at low prices every day.
Leading off for Detroit, Austin Jackson, 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. There is Shin-Soo Choo talking with Indians head athletic trainer Lonnie Soloff. Choo, if you missed it earlier, told me that everything's progressing nicely with his thumb. He's getting anxious to hopefully be able to go out and get on a rehab assignment. I asked him, well, you know, what's harder with that thumb? Is it the bat, swinging the bat, or is it the glove? And he said, it's actually the glove, because he said, yeah, I worry about a ball hitting it on the thumb and jerking it back again.
Well, he's going to end up wearing a little brace or something over the thumb to stop it from bending.
He showed me that. It's like a hard plastic brace
and
over
you just
top
keep
of that
it. That's
thumb.
right. You know, and he'll have to get more handsier with his fingers, where that thumb is going to be stabilized inside the glove. And that's how he hurt it, diving for the ball where your thumb got caught underneath. It looked harmless, you know, when it originally happened. But, boy, anytime you dive forward, you've got to make sure the nose of your glove or the fingertips of your glove are pointed upwards, or you're in trouble.
1-2 pitch. Jackson lays off. This scoreboard update brought to you by Wendy's. You know when it's real. It's Wendy's. Again, he lays off. Full count.
Now, this is the guy that started the game off with a 10-pitch at bat and got the base hit. Ended up coming around to score in the first inning after stealing a base.
'95th pitch of the night for Jake Westbrook, and the payoff is lined down the right field line.
Boy,
there's that inside-out swing.
It's a beautiful stroke.
Kearns misplayed the ball in the right field corner. Jackson's going to turn and burn easily into third base. Where is Kearns? Here comes the ball finally, but Jackson stopped at third base.
He got over there at the wall at the same time the ball did, and then again he thought he had it in his glove. He looks in and didn't have it. Then I lost him. I mean, what a beautiful swing, inside-out stroke to stay on that ball and hit it down the line. Look at again, just fired it in there on the sinker, and here it comes. He gets to the wall the same time. Oh, he didn't get to the ball. It hit up on the post and stayed in play.
Kind of a bad break. He couldn't find it.
Well, that'll have to go as a triple. He did not find it, so the leadoff triple by Detroit. For Jackson, his 5th on the year.
And Johnny Damon 0 for 2 is the batter. Indians bullpen about to spring into action here in the 6th inning. Andy Marte even with the bag at third. Everybody else on the infield is back. Two and 0. Westbrook leads it by a pair. Hits are even at 5 apiece in the 6th inning. And the 2-0. Strike is called by Jerry Lane. Right-hander Joe Smith, the side armor, out of your view, and lefty Tony Sipp. This is where the Tigers have been dynamic on the year. From the 6th inning on, they have outscored the opposition by 35 runs from the 6th inning on this year.
Well, that's their thing. It seems like when they do get behind early, it's because of their starters. Their bullpen does a nice job of keeping them in the game. And they've got one of the better bullpens in the league. And, you know, when you can score late in the ball game and you don't give any up, that certainly helps.
The 2-2. Tap back to the mound. Westbrook will look to runner Jackson back. Takes care of Damon, 1 down.
Now you can bring that infield in.
And according to Tommy Bowe, Rick, in this season series between the Indians and Tigers so far this year, from the 6th inning on, Tigers have outscored the Indians 21-11.
Okay, 2-1.
Maglio Ordonez doubled and scored his last time up. And as we have seen, and I'm sure Jake Westbrook very aware of this, in RBI situations, he's aggressive early in the count. And he smacks it foul.
You know, most RBI guys are. You know, when they look for that first good pitch that they can handle and they get after it. Because they figure that may be the best pitch that they see. And why spot a pitch or a strike when you know it's a good one to hit? I don't blame them.
The 0-1. And good hitters, especially your good, proven track record RBI guys, it doesn't have to be a perfect pitch for them to drive the run.
Oh, no.
If they can handle it, that's why they're aggressively going after it, right?
That's exactly right. They're looking to drive that runner home. It doesn't have to be a pitch that they're going to locate in and try and hit a home run. They just want to drive the ball somewhere. See, now he's got his work cut out for him. Now you go into a protect mode. To try a ground ball up the middle is going to give you the run anyway. You're just trying to get the run home.
In the dirt, smothered by Santana.
This is where Jake goes in to try to expand their strike zone and get him to swing at his pitch as much as possible, because you know who's looming on deck.
Well, Westbrook's trying to finish strong, too. He's got a 2-run lead. He's got that big first out. And he's over 100 pitches, so he knows he's very near the end of the line tonight. Again in the dirt. 2-2. Two-two pitch. Got him. Oh, he chased one that time. Jake Westbrook wins out in a battle of patience, perhaps. Westbrook stuck to his guns, and Ordonez couldn't help himself.
Changes up on him. Got him to chase the changeup. And that was good enough, and it looks like Manny Acta's going to go to the bullpen. Boy, that's 2 good outs with that leadoff triple that Westbrook battled, and so far has left him stranded at third base. And out comes Acta, and in comes Joe Smith.
So 105 pitches. That's the end of the line for Jake Westbrook. He leaves with the lead after 5 2/3 innings of work here tonight. Westbrook is done. Joe Smith coming on. Our pitching change brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Smith for the 21st time this year. 1 up, 1 down, 5.17 ERA, 14 punch outs, 10 walks in 15 2/3 innings of work.
And this is what Joe Smith was originally acquired for. You come on, you're going to face a right-handed hitter and tough right-handed hitters. And I don't think you're going to face any tougher than this one.
And that brings us to tonight's GMC 5-Star League Leaders, brought to you by the GMC Sierra. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. 78 ribbies for Cabrera after he drove in a run in the first with 2 outs. Missed inside for ball 1.
Unlike the Indians, where 7, 8, and 9 has done all the damage today, the Detroit hitters 1 through 4 are 4 for 11.
Swung on and missed in the count 1-1. Good change of pace from Smith had Cabrera out in front. Missed inside.
So far, staying with the slider.
Low. 3 balls and a strike.
And this is the only hitter I think that Joe Smith is on for. You've got Sip getting loose for the left-hander Bosch, who is on deck.
And he walked him. First and third, 2 down. And the left-handed hitting Brennan Bosch coming up. We will have another pitching change.
Absolutely. He's there for one hitter and one hitter only.
Timeout here in Cleveland. It's still 4-2 Tribe. But they're going through some pitchers here. Jake Westbrook started the inning, got the first 2 outs. Joe Smith came on, walked Miguel Cabrera. Now Tony Sip, the third man to work in the inning here in the 6th to face the left-handed hitting Brennan Bosch.
Well, this ends up being a big inning right here because of that leadoff triple. Westbrook had to really battle to get 2 veteran hitters. He was able to get Damon out on a little comebacker to himself. He punched out Ordonez. So now you bring Joe Smith in to try and retire Cabrera. He walked him on 5 pitches, so now it's Sip's turn to try and get the left-hander out. If the bullpen can do their job, then you still keep that 2-run lead, and that's going to be a big part because you don't want to get into a duel with that Detroit bullpen.
Well, the other thing, I mean, part of me is thinking, well, Manny can afford to be a little more aggressive with his bullpen tonight because you've had 4 days off. But then the other side of me says, you've got a day-night doubleheader tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
And a third game on Sunday against a very good hitting team.
These guys are matching up, though. You know, they're matching up. They're not throwing many pitches.
That's true.
You know, he's coming them back, and, you know, they're matching up. That's what their job is to get that out that he brings you in for. So we'll see if it holds true. If it does, you look great. If it doesn't happen, then you say, my goodness, but that's their job.
First and third, 2 down. Bosch, the batter. Tony Sipp trying to get the Tribe out of the inning and maintain a 2-run advantage. Fouled out of play. For what it's worth, and we've talked about the fact that Tony Sipp had that brutal road trip when we were in New York,
Chicago,
and Chicago. That's
and
right.
Detroit.
Was that part of it too?
Yeah,
Was that the 3
it was
cities?
a 3-city trip. Yes, indeed.
So if you look at his home and road splits, night and day. Check that he might have gone. They appeal. No, says third base umpire Mike McClinsky.
Well, that's the pitch he's going to need to get this guy out, is that slider away. He didn't offer at it here. He held it back.
Close, but he
that's
definitely held up.
That's the one he wants. For Tony Sipp, that's the one, the breaking ball you want to get him out on.
In 20 games on the road, Tony Sipp's ERA 7.79. In 18 games at home, his ERA is 2.63.
Well, remember, gave up the grand slam and 3-run homer in one series. So that's not going to change a whole lot for the rest of this year because you only come on to pitch maybe an inning at a time. But his stuff is back, and he's been very good. He had a 9-game streak before it was snapped in Tampa.
2-2 the count.
Which was the longest streak by a reliever this year where he did not allow a run.
Sipp ready with a 2-2. And Bosch fouling it away to stay alive, so he's putting up a pretty good fight here.
Well, that was a good fastball away. As Santana was set up just a little bit off the plate, it was actually a perfect pitch by Tony Sipp. And, I mean, the kid did a nice job to foul it off. That was a good 93-mile-an-hour heater, man, away. Fouled it off to live for another pitch. Throw the breaking ball.
The 2-2. And Bosch, a good job to lay out. This rookie has been some kind of impressive this year.
Well, he's getting confidence. He's hitting in a good lineup, and he's backing up an excellent hitter. So the kid's learning on the fly, and he's doing a terrific job. But I still say if Tony Sipp throws him a 3-2 slider for a strike, you got him. There you go. It's called. Let's throw the strike and see what happens.
Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Tony Sipp does his job, and the Tigers strand runners at the corners. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 4-2 Cleveland. sixth inning. Max Scherzer's night over after 5 innings of work. Robbie Weinhardt coming on to work the sixth inning, only his 4th appearance so far on the year.
He was called up from Toledo on the 7th of July. Made his major league debut that night against Baltimore. He was a 10th round draft pick by the Tigers back in the 2008 draft.
Jason Donald doubled to straightaway center his last time up.
Scherzer, another 5 innings against the Tribe. Gave up 5 hits, 4 runs. Season high 5 walks, but had 7 punchouts. He gave up the 2-run homer to Andy Marte, and that was the first time in his last 4 starts that he gave up more than 1 run.
I'm sure he's probably in the clubhouse or maybe still sitting in the dugout right now, just probably thinking, well, it was just a weird night, you know, because he had some good stuff with the 7 strikeouts.
Right. Well, it was command. You know, he went deep into the count a lot of times, 3-2. And he really didn't command that fastball early.
Ground ball to short. Santiago throws out Donald, 1 away. All right, here's the answer now to our AT&T trivia question. Last AL Cy Young Award winner who did not come out of the American League Central Division. I had no idea. But Darren Scott Lewis checked in on Facebook, and he nailed it. Bartolo Colon back in 05 with the Angels. I had completely forgotten about that. How about you? Do you remember that?
Well, I remember Bartolo winning it. Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's the last non-Central Division winner of the Cy Young Award.
Huh. That goes back quite some time.
Well, remember, Colon tried to make a comeback. Remember, he bounced around. He was with the White Sox, and we saw him, and he was literally trying to hang on at that point. Wasn't the same guy.
No, he was not. He was overweight, and he was throwing about 88.
Yeah. The 0-2 pitch. Lifted deep down the left field line. Great effort by Bosch. Came up empty. Now is he okay? That's a foul ball.
I think he went sliding feet first. I lost him.
Yeah, he disappeared out of our view right at the last moment. But I saw him going into that slide. Sometimes that can be risky down
That's
there.
The only way you can go in. If you're going to go in and chase a foul ball, you've got to go feet first to brace yourself. That was a late slide. You know, you can hurt yourself very easily going into that wall down there. It's only about 5 feet or 6 feet from that line to the wall. You're on a dead sprint, boy. There's not much time to stop.
So Brantley 0 for 3 tonight. Stays alive. And Robbie Weinhardt's 1-2 pitch. A little bit outside to even the count. Double barrel action in that Tiger bullpen. Jose Valverde is the closer. He's just bored, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bouncing ball in the hole and a base hit for Michael Brantley. And that snaps an 0 for 21 slump. Now he's aboard with a 1-out single here in the 6th.
Boy, there are holes out there, Michael's probably thinking. There's not 15 guys out playing defense. And it's a high hopper, but it was placed perfectly. That's the 6th hit now for the Indians. And now, with a 4-2 lead late in the ball game, and let's see if what this guy's moves like or how long he takes to get rid of the ball. If not, let's stay aggressive.
Jason Nix would like to follow Brantley's lead and break out of a slump right here.
Yeah, you figure they're going to step off and maybe throw over a couple times to see what's going on, but we'll try and get a time on him.
Jason 0 for his last 13. And a foul ball. 0-1 to count.
He looks like he's about average to home plate. Murph's got him at about 1.25. Average is 1.3. Although Avila does a nice job of throwing runners out. He's one of the better ones in the league at 40%.
Carlos Santana did steal a base off him back in the 3rd inning.
Avila's thrown out 12 of 29 guys this year. So if you give an opportunity, or at least give him a chance, a lot like Santana did. Santana's made a couple beautiful throws tonight right on the money.
Brantley's got a pretty good lead. 1-1 pitch, slowly chopped. Inge. Low throw, Cabrera can't hold on to it. Going to 3rd is Michael Brantley. Indians at the corners, still only 1 out.
Well, that's got to be an error on Inge, I would think. He never got it out of his glove. It looked like he double clutched. It wasn't. He was jammed with this pitch. And by the time that Inge can come in, and the only play he had was first, it wasn't a good, solid throw. Let's see what happens. He was really jammed. I want to see if he double clutches. Comes up and didn't have a good grip on the ball.
Tell you
Did
what,
they give him a base hit?
Was he going to beat it out anyway, though?
Well,
Rick?
they give him a base hit. So, they felt, I think a good throw would have had him, but that grip coming out of it, he didn't really have a good grip on it. It'll go as a base hit, though.
We've got a timeout here in Cleveland. Another pitching change. Jim Leland wants, I believe, a left-hander. We'll be right back. Back here at Progressive Field, where the Indians have a 4-2 lead over the Tigers. Tribe threatening now with runners 1st and 3rd, 1 out in the 6th. And left-hander Brad Thomas, native of Sydney, Australia, coming on now to work for Detroit. He'll be facing Carlos Santana, the switch hitter.
Well, he's, worked in 22 games, made a couple of starts. His record 4-0. His job trying to get out of it here. And I think Jim Leland wanting to flip Santana over to the right side, not letting him do any more damage.
High pop, shallow right. Coming hard is Ordonez. Tagging at 3rd is Brantley. Ordonez makes the catch. Brantley coming home. Here's the throw to the plate. Slide is safe. Nice job by Brantley. He went feet first, knocked Avila off of his toe hold, and the ball came loose. He was going to be in there safely anyway. But you have said so many times, don't go in there and try to tag it with your hand. Go in there feet first, knock his feet out from underneath him, and that's exactly what Brantley did.
No doubt about it. Now, make him throw you out, and there you go. Take his feet out from under him. He's got to catch the ball. He's not even looking at you. Go straight into the plate. And with Ordonez, he caught it flat-footed. He didn't have any momentum. So he had to, try and get something going on the throw, and Brantley was able to beat it out. So the sac fly goes to Santana, gets the job done, makes it a 5-2 game.
And on the play, Jason Nix moves up to second base. And Travis Hafner now with a runner in scoring position and 2 down. A base hit his last time up. Slaps it to left. Bosch coming hard. Won't get it. Coming around 3rd. Nix will score. And the Indians now lead it 6-2. Travis Hafner with his second hit of the night.
Another bad defensive play by Bosch, throwing that ball to home plate. He had no chance of getting Nick, so just throw the ball to second base. He doesn't. He tries to throw it home. This ball is in front with 2 outs. You know the base runner is going to be off and running. And it was a ball up out of the zone. He just slaps the other way. Throw it to second base. You're not going to get him, but now you put another runner in scoring position, and another base hit will give up another run. And I told you the defense of Detroit, they're last in the league now with that error as far as fielding percentage go. They were tied with the Indians coming in, even though the Indians had more errors. But defensively, they are not a solid ball club, and that'll come back to hurt them.
Austin Kearns 0 for 3 tonight. With another runner in scoring position. Jason Nix, who had a little infield hit. He was jammed on it, but he hustled down the line, made it a close play, beat it out when the ball popped loose from Cabrera's glove, and he comes all the way around to score. Kearns slugs it deep to right. Ordonez back on the track at the wall. He's out of room. It's out of here. Austin Kearns with a 2-run homer. His 8th of the year. His 39th and 40th runs batted in. It's a 4-run 6th inning for the Indians, and they now lead it 8-2.
Boy, and I know nothing can feel better for Kearns than that ball to carry and get on out of here. He got a ball up in the zone, stayed on it. And the Indians, some of their 2-out magic coming to life. Kearns hits his 8th home run and gives the Indians a 7-2 lead. Excuse me, 8.
Matt Laporta steps in. 0 for 2 tonight. Walked and scored a run back in the second inning. Well, the Indians busted out the big lumber here tonight. Up high. It's a Tigers team that had won 6 of 8 against the Indians coming in. With the Tribe getting some key and timely hits here tonight, taking advantage of even the smallest of Tiger mistakes. Been over a month since Austin Kearns' last home run. You have to go back to June 11th. But he really smoked that ball here tonight, and with that home run now, Kearns has hit in 5 straight games. The 1-2 to Laporta. Big bouncer to third. Inge throws him out. A 4-run 6th inning for the Tribe. Austin Kearns punctuates it with a 2-run opposite field homer. 8-2 Cleveland.
what's possible at att.com. AT&T, rethink possible. By the Sierra from GMC. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. And by Wendy's. You know when it's real. Wendy's.
Well, the Tribe is going tonight. 8 runs on 9 hits. Tony Sipp, who struck out Brennan Bosch to end the 6th inning.
No, and that's been their MO. Over the last 15, 16 games, 50% of their runs coming on the long ball. 4 of them have come tonight on the long ball. Out of their 8.
On the infield, second baseman Nix, 1 down. All right, let's take a look at our Miller Chase greatness moment. And you've got to go back to this date in 1941. What a year for Joe DiMaggio. He had hit in 56 straight games. Coming to Cleveland, Municipal Stadium. One Ken Keltner at third base. A rock, an Iron Man. He could not get it past him. And the hitting streak came to an end.
I guess he made a couple of nice plays in that ball game. And it ended here. Go figure. And then he went on to hit in 17 after that.
Almost like it was just a little bump in the road for Joe D.
Now, what a year.
It's a great summer for baseball. Wasn't that the same year Ted
hit 406.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It was a great summer for baseball.
I can't think of the author right off the top of my head. It's a pretty well-known author, though. He wrote a book, and I believe it's just titled The Summer of 41. And it's about DiMaggio and Williams and everything around baseball that year. It's a really good read. That's just, in today's context, in any context, 56-game hitting streaks. Pretty amazing. Popped in the air, right field. Kearns. 2 down. Back we go to the studios for another in-game update. Dave Chudowski, is anybody closing in on DiMaggio's hit streak tonight, Dave?
Well, I can tell you this. You have some back-to-back home runs, and it is Robinson Cano and Jorge Posada in the bottom of the 6th inning to tie it up at 3, but Tampa Bay has come back to take the lead 4-3. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Chud. Well, what is Miguel Cabrera probably have the longest current streak at 20?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
That's his foul.
That's his career high. He's the longest going right now, and that's his career high as well. With that single back in the 1st inning, got rid of it early.
Longest for the year is Josh Hamilton. It hit in 23 straight. That ended June 30th.
Right before we got there.
Yeah. Enrique Gonzalez loosening for the Tigers. One ball, 1 strike. Boy, pretty good looking pitch. Called a ball, 2-1. Back out of play. Tapper to short. Donald got him. Boy, what an inning for Tony Sipp. They go 1, 2, 3. He's retired all 4 that he has faced. Stretch time in Cleveland. 8-2 Indians. At Panini's, now open in Chagrin Falls and Solon, Brunswick location coming soon. Visit paninisgrill.com. New pitcher for the Tigers, Enrique Gonzalez. Ninth time this year, no wins or losses, ERA 2.25. He's walked 5, struck out 4 in 12 innings of work.
Well, so far everybody has given up a couple for Detroit. Weinhardt came in, pitched a third of an inning, gave up 2 runs. Thomas, 2/3, gave up a couple hits and 2 runs.
Missed inside all the way to the backstop. Trevor Crowe has had a big night offensively for the Indians. He drove in a run and scored in the second, and he ignited that 2-run 4th inning. And we talked about Max Scherzer, the starter, how he struggled with his command in that inning. He just had 3 straight batters where he left balls right down the middle of the plate, and they tattooed all 3 of them.
Exactly right, left it middle. And, you know, it was the 7, 8, 9 guys that sparked this offense so far tonight. Till the top part of the lineup finally did it last inning. You know, that usually happens. You can get those bottom 3 to get you going. And there's another start. Crowe will take the walk. Well, the Fan Cave here at Progressive Field is the newest suite. It's designed for the ultimate Tribe fan, perfect for bachelor parties, company outings, and other celebrations. Call 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com to find out more.
Andy Marte takes the first pitch strike. Boy, he chased one there. Even Andy smarting after that swing. Back in the 4th inning, though, he smoked this ball.
Well, Scherzer fell behind him 3-1. That was a 3-2 pitch, and it was a fastball right there for Marte. And he hit it a long way.
And a strike called. Andy Marte out number 1. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Jason Donald. Donald 1 for 3 with a double and a run batted in here tonight. Good pitch in there for a strike. Ran it in off the plate. We were talking last inning about DiMaggio's hit streak, the same year Williams hit 406. There was a book written called The Summer of 41, but that's not the one I was thinking about. There was another book written by David Halberstam, who was a pretty well-known author, called The Summer of 49. And that details the race between the Red Sox and the Yankees. A lot of stories about DiMaggio and Williams, and that is a great read. And it also talks about how the country was changing. You know, football and basketball were just starting to gain a foothold in American prominence, whereas baseball up to that point had been the sport.
Right.
And so but that's another very good read. Summer of 49. Left-hander warming in the Tigers bullpen. And that is Daniel Schlereth.
Well, you mentioned day-night doubleheader tomorrow. So you're just going to get some guys that you're not going to burn anybody out, that's for sure. In game one, it'll be Fausto Carmona against Justin Verlander. A nice matchup. That's a 105 start. No television there, but then in the nightcap, we'll be on at 7:05. Mitch Talbot against Rick Porcello, who's back up. We're trying to get him on track.
A little bit too high. And a full count for Jason Donald. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Donald out looking, 2 down here in the 7th. Hometown crowd not real happy with Jerry Lane's call. Looked like it might have been high initially.
Well, that's exactly what, yeah. I mean, normally that is high. 8-2 game. He calls it a strike.
Brings up Michael Brantley. Lines one deep down the left side. Bosch over, makes the grab. This time with time to spare and able to brace himself. 7 in the books, 8-2 Cleveland. Eighth inning here at Progressive Field. That young man's having a great time at the ball yard. Frank Herman coming on for the 17th time this year. No wins or losses. How about that 2.81 ERA? Just 3 walks and 11 strikeouts in 16 innings of work.
Well, he's done really a nice job coming in because he throws strikes. And, I mean, not just strikes. He's throwing quality strikes. Got a good fastball.
How about 1 pitch, 1 out?
You got to love it.
Michael Brantley squeezes it. Top of the order, Austin Jackson coming up. Hey, Monday, July 26th, Chuck Galletti will be taking over the bleachers at Progressive Field. He's selling tickets for just $10. And everyone in the bleachers will get a Beat the Yankee hanky. Go to Indians.com/STO to order your tickets now. Chuck is trying to summon the ghost of Pete Franklin.
He's the originator.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I remember I was playing back when they did that. Matter of fact, we just had his producer in the booth tonight. That was with Kenny Bochenik.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Greg Goulas.
Greg
Goulas was here.
See, that's why those Bochenek boys are always online. They know everything that's going on. King of the talk show radio. Tommy, over the All-Star break, he just cruised around Canton, listened to talk radio all 4 days.
Did you ever
catch up on it?
Were you ever interviewed by Pete Franklin?
Oh, God, we used to. Yes, for numerous times. He was a great guy. Tough to let. I mean, yeah, he could get rough.
Bury you, though,
yeah,
sometimes.
He could bury some kids. Absolutely. Kuiper and I, we used to go in there. He wanted us to host his show. The guy was on for 4 or 5 hours. It was like, you kidding me? Couldn't talk that long if I wanted to.
That's back in the old days, too. I mean, people, maybe our young viewers, you got to remember, I mean, when Pete Franklin was doing his talk show, there was no sports radio, no sports TV, no ESPN.
No, you
so
only
if
did
you
so
wanted
many
sports
games.
News, you listened to Pete Franklin.
And he was, went to 50 states, it seemed like. They had a 50,000 watt channel that went everywhere.
High fly ball down the right field line. Kearns into foul ground, reaching over, can't get to it. And if you called Pete Franklin's show and you didn't have your A game on, he would bury you as a caller.
Yeah, he would.
He just embarrassed people.
Yes, he would.
Don't come on there with your facts not straight and try to sneak one past Pete Franklin.
Yeah, he was. He ended up going where? To the Bay Area for a while and New York as well.
I think he went to New York first
and then the Bay Area.
That's
okay. That's where he ended it.
And I remember seems like it was just a few years ago. You would still hear him on 1100 occasionally doing maybe a little sports update or a little sports thought for the day. Probably out of his house, out in California, just sort of a...
Yeah, he was, I liked him. I got along well with him.
Payoff pitch, fouled by Jackson. Popped down the line and out of play again. Boy, this kid can put up some terrific at-bats.
He makes pitchers work. I mean, he's a tough out. He doesn't, from what I've witnessed and just watching him play against the Indians this year, and it's, this is only the 9th game, he does not give at-bats away for a young player. I mean, he just finds a way to get up there. If you're going to get him out, you're going to have to work for it. Because I don't recall. I'm sure the guys, after I make this statement, will go back and check, make him making a first pitch out. He might have been the second at-bat today in the 3rd, but other than that, he's a tough out.
Payoff pitch. And a ground ball to short. Donald throws him out, 2 down.
Well, you can spend a day golfing if you would like with the Cleveland Indians alumni. It's a CIC golf outing out of Quail Hollow. A lot of local celebrities and a good day had by all. You go out there, you can grab a nice lunch, cocktail dinner following, awards, prizes, auctions. It all happens on Monday, August 9th out of Quail Hollow, the CIC golf outing.
In there for a called strike. Liner to left and a base hit. Johnny Damon's first hit of the night comes with 2 outs in the 8th inning. He's 1 for 4. And it will bring up Maglio Ordonez. Ordonez tonight 1 for 3. He doubled, sandwiched in between a couple of strikeouts. And a diving attempt by Nix, couldn't come up with it. Back-to-back hits here in the 8th inning, and the Tigers have 2 on with 2 out, and Miguel Cabrera coming to the plate. And quietly, Detroit trying to peck away and get themselves right back into this with one big swing of the bat.
Well, a couple of base hits going the other way. Damon going to left field. Here you see Ordonez going to right, but you get a couple guys aboard and you've got your big boy, your big bopper coming up now. Nice attempt there by Jason Nix. Gets under his glove. I don't think he would have been able to throw him out even if he does catch that ball. He was so far out in the outfield grass.
Strike on the outside corner. Perfect pitch there from Frank Herman. 2 on, 2 out. Miguel Cabrera. 2 out RBI single in the first. Fly to right in the fourth. Walked in the sixth. Breaking ball swung on and missed.
This is a pitch that I really never realized he had. Got him out of trouble one day on the last road trip with a good curveball.
Now the 1-2 pitch. A little bit outside. There's the 2-2. Struck him out looking. Cabrera doesn't like the call of Jerry Lane. The home plate umpire rings him up. Cabrera continues to complain. 8-2 Cleveland. Eight-2 Indians on top. Bottom of the 8th inning. And another new pitcher for the Tigers. It will be left-hander Daniel Schlereth.
And you can see a lot of these guys just coming up in their 3rd and 4th appearances of the year.
Jason Nix looks at a ball.
Hey, there's Waldo. Been looking for him all night.
Now, seriously,
that's beautiful.
What possesses a guy to say, you know what, I'm going to dress up like Waldo and go to the ball game tonight?
He fit in. I never saw him for the first 8 innings.
He blended right in. Oh, boy. Ramon Santiago taking care of Jason Nix. Now Carlos Santana. A couple of walks. He's fouled out, and he drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Right back. Eight runs on 9 hits for the Indians. 2 runs, 7 hits for Detroit. Tigers began the night a game out of first in the AL Central.
Well, and you have Minnesota beating the White Sox right now 4-1. That ball game is about the 5th or 6th inning. You know, this is going to be fun for the Indians and something to shoot for. You're going to have a lot of games against the teams in front of you that you can, make them really work hard.
Absolutely. They're at least meaningful games from the standpoint of that team's trying to win every game.
Absolutely. You're not going to walk up there and throw your uniform out there. I mean, you can go out there and cause a speed bump, man, and make these guys really work. It's not quite spoil time yet, but you can certainly, you try and beat them and, just send them packing and a little upset.
Not to mention, for the young guys that are going to be around here for a while, these are the teams that you're going to play a lot over the course of your career.
Year. Absolutely. And so far to this point, the Tigers have had their way out of the first 8 games, 6-2. They've been able to handle the Indians' offense. They're pitching. Detroit's pitching staff has done a good job against the Indians' offense. But tonight, they've got an 8th spot on the board, the Snowman. Snowing in July.
9 days, it'll be Christmas in July, right? The 2-2. Bounced it in front of the plate. Daniel Schlereth, for those of you who are not aware, the son of Mark Schlereth, prominent member of the Denver Broncos. I think he also played with the Washington Redskins, won fistful of Super Bowl rings during his career. You see him now on television as a football analyst. This is his son. He went to the University of Arizona. Brandon Inge throws out Carlos Santana, 2 down. Daniel Schlereth was 7th round pick by the Oakland A's when he was draft eligible as a sophomore at Arizona. But he passed on that offer, and it turned out to be a smart move because he wound up being a first-round pick in 2008 by the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Well, we got a pinch hitter, Duncan, coming on for Hafner.
So Shelley Duncan getting his first at bat tonight. Hafner was 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a run batted in.
And I wonder if you're going to see Duncan more against left-handers in the second half. He's been absolutely their best pinch hitter throughout the course of the year. He's 4 for 11 with a home run and 4 RBIs. They only have 5 hits out of 37 in a pinch hitter, and Hafner has the other one. So I wonder if Duncan's going to get more playing time, maybe as a DH in the second half.
The 1-1 pitch. Line to center field.
Come on.
Shelley Duncan with another pinch hit.
I'm going to tell you, that's an art coming off the bench when you can hit. After sitting for a couple hours, 2-3 hours, you walk up and you get one opportunity. That's his 5th hit now as a pinch hitter. 5 for 12, so he's done a great job. Gets a ball to his liking, slaps it up the middle, gets a 10th hit for the Indians.
I attended a luncheon today at the Terrace Club here at Progressive Field for the Case Western Reserve University Skin Cancer Research Council. And I met a woman afterwards who told me she was a member of Dave Duncan's fan club.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And I look at Shelley Duncan, and I just see a guy, Rick, who just has a no-nonsense approach to baseball.
Well, his dad was pretty intense. You know, Dave Duncan had the long locks, a catcher, and a terrific pitching coach. And has been with La Russa for quite some time. But, I mean, as a ball player, he wasn't a bad catcher. But, I mean, his life took off when he got into the coaching profession. Coached here and then left and went to Chicago and joined La Russa, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Pretty good history at that.
Yes, indeed.
Kearns takes a pitch for a strike, 1-2. Austin with an opposite field 2-run homer that capped a 4-run sixth for the Indians. Those 4 runs in the 6th inning matched their biggest 6th inning of the year. They also had a 4-run sixth June 4th in Chicago against the White Sox in a game they won 10-1. Kearns lost the handle on the bat. Remains a ball and 2 strikes. Bouncer to short. Santiago, inning-ending force. And we will go to the 9th. 8-2 Indians. As we go to the 9th inning here at Progressive Field, Indians coming out of the All-Star break, swinging the bats well tonight, and the bullpen has been tremendous so far. Rafael Perez coming on for the 38th time this year, and he has definitely been a guy who's turned his season around with the way he's pitched over the last month.
Yeah, a really good month of June for Rafael Perez. Settling down, he got off to a really tough start this year. When you look at Perez in the month of June, he went 10 2/3 innings and did not allow an earned run. In July, he's gone 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. But you get the 2 left-handers. If you get him straightened out, Tony Sipp came on and did a nice job today in his inning and a third. A couple of left-handers that can come out and give Manny Actis some help out of that pen.
Brennan Bosch 0 for 3 tonight. Did drive in a run back in the fourth with an RBI ground out. But in a key spot in this game, in the top of the sixth inning, Bosch was up. Tribe led 4-2. Tigers had runners at the corners with 2 down. He gets a hit there or goes big fly, and who knows how this game plays out. But Tony Sipp with 2 strikes. You called the pitch up here. You said throw him that slider. It was a 3-2
throw
count.
Throw it for a strike. That's right.
Throw it for a strike and you'll get him. You'll strike him out. That's what Santana called. Sipp executed, and they struck him out.
And that inning turned it around because there was a leadoff triple from Austin Jackson from Westbrook, and he was able to get the next 2 guys out after Smith walked Cabrera. Sipp came in to get Bosch ended. That was really the big point in the ball game.
And in the bottom of the sixth, the Indians broke it open 4 runs. But that's what happens sometimes in baseball. You focus on the big offensive explosion, which is understandable, but you forget about how you got there.
Yeah. Well, there's always little things and momentum changes that have an impact throughout the course of 9 innings, and it may come early in the game, and it may come in the middle part, or it may come at the end. It's not always that base hit in the ninth that gets you over the hump to win a ball game. It's getting it out, turning a double play, or executing a pitch or a defensive play that gets you through an inning.
Now, how many times do you see a pitcher make a big pitch in the first inning just to limit the damage? Maybe he gives up a run, but it could have been 4 or 5 runs if he doesn't execute. And you kind of lose track of that over the course of the game.
Well, you don't when you're in that uniform and you're in the dugout. Those are big points that are really, gives you a boost of momentum in the course of that game, and you come back and they were able to respond. Tigers scored in the fourth to tie it up. The Indians come back in the bottom half of the fourth and score 2 to take the lead right back.
The 1-2. Grounded to second. Nix fields it cleanly. 1 away. Take a look right now at our player of the game, Jake Westbrook, who in 3 starts this year against the Tigers has a 2.84 ERA, looking to run that record to 2-0 if the Tribe can get these final 2 outs here in the ninth. Jake looking to pick up his 6th win on the season. And if he does, he'll have 6 wins, and he would need 4 more through the remainder of the season to get to double figures in wins. And I think if you're Jake Westbrook, that would be pretty good accomplishment, coming back from the Tommy John surgery, missing all of last year. And who knows, if he gets some breaks and things go really well, he could close in on maybe even a dozen wins. But that's putting the old cart before the horse. How to finish this one off first. 1-1 the count with 1 down here in the ninth. Guillen 0 for 2. He walked back in the 4th inning. Big tapper. Perez grabs it. Got him. Oh, what a play by Rafael Perez.
And by Matt Laporta to pick it.
That was a good pick because the ball was on the skip, bearing right into the runner.
Wow, that ball over his head. He makes it. To throw a little off balance, but that's all he could do. He got off the mound very nicely. Throws off balance, but Laporta, look at that's up the line. The runner coming down at him. Makes a nice pick.
Little snow cone job, Laporta, bringing it in there. And with 2 down, Brandon Inge steps to the plate, 1 for 3 tonight. Singled back in the 2nd inning. Down too low, 2 balls and no strikes. Reminder, we'll have Game 2 action of the day-night doubleheader tomorrow night here on Sports Time Ohio. Rick and I will have all the action at 7 o'clock when the Tribe takes on the Tigers. Scheduled Mitch Talbot and Rick Porcello in that matchup. Two-0 delivery. And a strike at the belt. Bouncing ball to third. Marte fields it cleanly and throws him out. The Indians win it 8-2. Tribe comes out of the All-Star break and swings the bats very well tonight, improving their record to 35-54 on the year. Winning pitcher Jake Westbrook, he is now 6-5. Losing pitcher Max Scherzer drops to 6-7. With the loss, Detroit is now 48-39 on the season. And it's time now for our play of the game, brought to you by Key Bank, banking home of your Cleveland Indians.
Let's go back to that fourth inning. After the Tigers got on the board, Andy Marte gets a 3-2 pitch to his liking down the middle. And he's going to take Max Scherzer deep, and Marte hits his third home run. That one a 2-run jobber, gives the Indians a lead back. That's going to be our Key Bank key play of the game.
So a nice win for the Tribe here tonight. And now the crowd getting souped up for some fireworks. Rick and I are coming back with the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show next.